All right. Good morning, everyone. As you can tell, it is very overcast. So, even though it's clear and it rained, the clouds didn't move out before sunrise. So, it's back to sleep for me and back to the drawing board. Hopefully this evening. See you soon.
All right, so it is the day, a new day. Well, the last clip you saw was the same morning. It was a couple hours ago. And it's still pretty overcast, but there is rays of light peeking through. We're about a few hours past sunrise, so it's not like this is golden hour or anything. But sometimes when there's rain clouds and the light peeks through in the correct ways, it can look super dramatic, especially on these really dramatic peaks, the Tetons. So what I think I'm going to do is drive a little bit and find a viewpoint and just kind of sit there and wait around a little bit to see how the light changes. Other than that, throughout the day, I'm probably not going to do a whole lot besides work and hope for sunset tonight, now that everything should be cleared out in terms of the smoke and the haze. At this point, though, I feel like this episode is probably getting long in the tooth because tomorrow morning will be the 4th sunrise attempt, and I'm not entirely sure how this will all come together. I guess at the end of the day, it's a good representation of sometimes the conditions that you can get or the problems that you run into when you're shooting landscape photography. Regardless, let's get moving, and thanks for sticking along if you're still watching. Light's happening now, so yeah, let's get moving. Well, we are set up and waiting for the light to change on these peaks. You saw all of that, hopefully. And like I said, it's not golden hour, sunrise, or sunset light, but the light is really cool because of the way the clouds are moving on the peaks. Could be really good black and white, which I guess goes together with yesterday's sunset. I just hope I can salvage any photo from this particular episode. I know that it's been quite a few things here and there, just trying to get the light to cooperate. But sometimes that's landscape photography, and I think it's really good to have episodes like that where maybe I film and nothing comes of it. That tends to happen a lot, honestly, in landscape photography. So anyways, I hope you guys are enjoying. I'm going to sit probably for maybe an hour and just honestly just watch the clouds change. It's really pretty. So that's what I'm going to do, and hopefully get a few shots. I already took a few. There was a few moments where the main Teton, the Grand Teton, peeked through these clouds, so I'll put those up on the screen after we're all said and done, and I hope you guys are enjoying. Don't think I'm ending the episode here. I really want to shoot sunset tonight or sunrise tomorrow and see what happens, so thank you for watching. Hopefully this episode isn't getting too long. Anyways, if you're enjoying the episode for some reason, you could like it, and if you love it, which you would be probably crazy considering how much of a disaster every morning has been, you can subscribe. So thank you again, and stay tuned.
I'm aware of the bonds that were created today. When you told me that sure there's a way, the water's so still and my pain has gone away. The air is much cleaner after it rains. Follow my love, the scent that's in the spring air. Follow on into the sun. There's a call for new beginnings here. Let the sorrow of yester disappear. Let your body be new. I'm a wanderer of the soul. Before the end I plan to behold, but I know I'll lose myself along the way.
It's been about 6 hours since you last saw me. Apologies for the road noise if you can hear it. Let's make sure this mic is working. Definitely discovered that the mic didn't work on any of the stuff I recorded last night. I actually worked on this video that you're watching right now in between the two, this in the last shots you saw, because that's what I have to work on. As you can tell, big storm rolled through and it's headed that way. So I stopped here to kind of wait for it to pass. We want these Tetons right here to hopefully clear up just enough to get some awesome sunset light. That's what I'm hoping for. Gonna park here for a little bit longer and then move once I can tell the rain is gone. And maybe we'll get a fantastic sunset, or maybe we won't get anything at all. But anyways, thanks for sticking with me. Let's keep trying. All right, so I just parked. Whoop. I'm at 𝐒𝐨𝐜𝐷 Landing again, but not where we were last night. I stopped right at the turnoff, and I think I found a shot as long as the light turns. I found a patch of purple flowers that I'm pretty sure will work as long as the light works out. So we're gonna get there really quick, set up the shot. Pretty stoked. Cross your fingers for good light. Let's do this. All right, there are the purple flowers. There are the Tetons. It's just a little windy. Oh God. All right, let's set up.
What's gone is gone. What's past is past. Let me leave what belongs in the past. The road ahead is quite unclear. Let me walk it despite fear. The road stretches over the hills, and I've got many debts to pay. Some are wrong.
Can't even see me. Okay. So our shot is set up, but as you can tell, we're gonna have a small problem. Actually, it's a pretty large problem. If this wind doesn't die down, the shot is just not gonna work. There's two things I need. I need to be able to take multiple photos of these at hopefully f/16, meaning I need enough light to take them at f/16, but a fast enough shutter speed to capture everything without movement. But as of right now, that's just impossible. The other thing I need is for when the sun crests the peak of the mountains to take an f/16 shot to get a perfect sunburst. And I have a video of that you can check out here. I think it'll be in this corner, one of the corners. The trick is that you want the smallest source of light will create a crisper sunburst in your shots. So right as it's cresting the peak of the Tetons, it'll make a better sunburst in my photo. Those two things mixed together should create a really nice photo, but it all comes down to if the wind dies down enough during the best light to take a photo of these. Right now it's still too harsh, so we have to wait. Probably got another 40 minutes, maybe an hour. I'm gonna say 40 minutes until the sun goes behind those peaks, and we just have to sit around and wait. So that's what we're gonna do. I'm pretty stoked. It's the first time I've seen the sun during sunrise or sunset in 3 days. So whatever happens, I'm gonna be happy even if I don't get a shot. So yeah, let's sit and wait, and cross your fingers for me. Some absolutely insane light happening. Very cool. Wind, still windy. Yep. All right, so as luck would have it, about 5 minutes before the sun was supposed to crest the peak, it went behind a giant cloud. So I don't think I'm getting that sunburst that I was looking for. But I wanted to briefly talk about helping your next focus stack if you're shooting flowers and you're trying to focus stack. Something I did in my last video that you'll see, I don't think I mentioned it, I'm not sure, but it actually ended up working out when I did the edit. was I was trying to shoot f16, so I have the least amount of photos I need to blend everything together. You can shoot at f8 or f11 and just shoot more photos, but I try to use f16 as much as possible if I have the light. So one tip is obviously to wait for the wind to die down, but the second tip is to take multiple photos at every focus point. So instead of focusing, taking a photo, and then refocusing, take 2 to 4 photos at that focal point, just in case your shutter speed is maybe 1/10 of a second or 1/15 of a second, and it'll really give you options once you get into editing. It helped me a lot when I actually went to edit the photos from the last video, because I was able to pick which ones were the sharpest. Another thing is you can boost up your ISO just a little bit. You want to try to keep it as low as possible. I've got mine set to 250 right now. The difference between 100 ISO and 250 on this particular camera is very minimal, so it shouldn't be a big deal at all. You will have to decide that for your own camera. I just try to keep mine as low as possible and try to get away with the longer shutter speed. Anyways, I think that's going to wrap up this video. I'm going to keep shooting. Maybe something will happen. I will show you the picture regardless of how good or bad it is. I'm really glad I just got to see the sun during sunset or sunrise, so I don't have a whole lot of complaints. If you really love the video, or me stumbling through every morning and every evening, there's a join button down below that you can get invited to a Discord. All right, so first of all, clearly I am not in my car. I'm visiting Florida to visit some friends and family, just taking a little hiatus while the smoke clears out west and do some more work on my car. Anyways, that Discord community is actually now completely open to the public. There'll be a link down below, and I'm giving away a Canon M50. I think the contest will run for 2 more weeks from when this video goes live. All you do is join the Discord, go in the Canon M50 contest, and react to the bot that's in there, and all the rules are also in there. You can still click the join button down below on YouTube to find out what those member areas are. You can even check out what some of the member areas are without having to do anything, but you can't interact in them. All it is just an area where you can ask questions, get photo critique and help from me, and there's some monthly contests that we put together. And I really just want a community to develop, and you only have to join for a month and you get lifetime access to those rooms, or you can just join the public community and hang out. So check it out down below. Thank you for watching. I'm about to explain those photos that you just watched, and I think it's actually worth the explanation, so find out if I got anything now. Enjoy.
Here are the images from right before the sun went behind that cloud. These definitely have the most dramatic light. The problem is I messed up in the fact that I was so close to my subject that even the closest focal point that I have was not close enough to capture these flower petals in focus. That's okay. I captured a lot more photos. And then just to remind you, this was the closest sunburst I got right before it went behind the clouds. But I captured these photos after the sun went down, and even though they're a little bit more dull, I actually get a little bit more room to play around with the light and when I can luminosity mask them and stuff like that. The problem with this particular exposure, again, is we did not get a sunburst because the sun went behind the cloud. Also okay, because 2 days later I went to the same spot and captured a sunburst that worked really well. Here's the sunburst behind the cloud. And what I could do is take these 3 exposures and blend them together and then just perspective blend like you watched in my previous video from a week or 2 ago and do it that way. I also captured a few more photos from that night. But at the end of the day, when I went to take these exposures and focus stack them, I spent a few hours on this between Lightroom and Helicon Focus and Photoshop trying to manually do it. I could get them to look good. It would just take me a long time. But at the end of it all, after I spent a decent amount of time doing it, realistically, I just am not in love with this photo. So if we just start here, there's some cool texture and stuff on these leaves, and the flowers are nice, but I'm not in love with the composition. I think that the midground is a little bit too boring. I don't think the light in the photo is all that great, even with me manipulating it. And even if I took these sunburst photos and blended those together to add to it, it just didn't come out how I wanted it to, and I didn't really want to spend the time perfecting the focus stack, which I think is necessary for this particular image. So with that said, I guess along the lines of this entire episode, I didn't come away with a photo here. But I think it was a great lesson. Something that I learned that I definitely need to be careful about is just making sure that my lens is not too close to where I can't get critical focus on the nearest object. I kind of knew in the field, but I thought it would be fine shooting at f16. Regardless, that is the story of the photos. I hope that you're not disappointed. Sometimes that just happens in landscape photography, even if I go back. I actually went back a third time and tried to shoot these, but I didn't end up taking any photos just because of the amount of smoke that has been going on here. I've actually been here for a week, and it's just been smoky every day, just like in the video. Anyways, thanks for watching. Apologize for not having a final photo to show you, but I hope it makes sense in my explanation. I'll see you guys again next week, and thanks for listening in. Later.